Hello fellow book nerds, this is Gabby and I'm back with yet another reading vlog and another readathon. So this month has been really just filled with readathons. I decided to participate in two, so if you haven't seen it in the first 2 months of the first 2 weeks for November, I participated in the 1000 Doors readathon, and I'm gonna link the video up here, and yeah, just watch it. It's actually, I had so much fun. I read so many good books, so that was a lot of fun. But for the last 2 weeks of November, we're going to be participating in Belivathon, which is a middle grade readathon hosted by Gavin from How to Train Your Gavin, and I think this is the third time he's running it, and this year the theme is murder mystery, which, if you've been here anytime, you know I love murder mysteries, so this is a perfect one to join. I've never joined before. The point of the readathon is just to read loads of middle grade. There's some prompts, so I'm going to be fulfilling 3 of them, but really I just want to read a bit more middle grade, because only middle grade I really read is Percy Jackson, and I read also Harry Potter like a year ago, so that's pretty much the only middle grade I ever read. It's not that I don't enjoy middle grade, it's just something that rarely ends up in my very favorite books, and if it does, it's probably something I read when I was a really young kid and now I have so much nostalgia for. I'm really excited to give it a try, and I'm really excited about the books I'm reading. I mean, most of them I've seen so much around that everyone says it's amazing, so I want to give them a shot. So I'm going to be fulfilling 3 prompts, and that's the key to like open the door, and then once we open the door to the mansion, you can like discover who killed. I don't actually know who got killed. Whoever got killed, we're gonna discover it. So the prompts are like the clues to find out who got murdered. So the first prompt is kind of the key. So you're supposed to do this first to start the readathon. And this is, in order to receive the key, you must read a mystery. And for this, I want to read The Mystery of Black Hollow Lane. The next prompt I want to complete is The Flash of Lighting, which is, you must read a book that incorporates folk tales, and for this I've actually gone with Malamander. When you go on the website, the authors of middle grade books really tell you the prompts, and they sometimes recommend their own books if they fit. And if you read a book by an author that introduced a prompt, doesn't matter if it was their prompt or whatever, but if you read a book by that author, you get double points. And I want to go with Malamander for the folklore, and that will give me double points. And then another one is Hand Mirror. You must read a book with a beautiful cover, and for this I've chosen A Pinch of Magic, which again will give me double points, but also like is the most beautiful book I've ever seen in my life. I am not reading the key first because I got the books through my library, so through Libby, but library you can't really control when it comes, when it doesn't come, and Malamander came first. I still actually don't have access to Black Hollow Lane. I'll find it at some point. Maybe through magical editing I'll make everything make sense, but probably not gonna bother. So we're gonna be reading Malamander first. Anyway, so that's the 3 books we're gonna be reading, and I guess let's just kick it off. So the first book we're reading is Malamander. So Malamander, I actually already started, I'm about 22% in, and it tells the story of this boy who's a lost and founder at this really obscure, weird hotel. So the hotel is located at this pier, I guess, near on the coastal line, and in the summer it's known for being a really nice vacation spot. There's a lot of families coming, and it's all nice and vacation-y. But in the winter, it's way more mysterious. There's not really that many guests, and if they are, they're usually not there for a family kind of holiday. So like I said, our main character is a lost and finder, and this is quite a unique position in this hotel because he is the one in charge of the lost and found in the hotel. 12 years ago, there was a case where a baby was found in a room by herself, and her parents actually went missing, and she got taken away by the system. But 12 years later, she comes back and she finds our main character because she believes that she is a lost thing, and since he's a lost and finder, he can help her. The Malamander is like the mystical creature, kind of a legend in this area, the town where they live, and I'm not sure exactly what creature is supposed to be yet. So far, I am really enjoying the story itself. There's something really magical and whimsical about it, just the way it's told. It's simple enough to appeal to children, but also it's enjoyable enough to be intriguing and nice to read. I think the characters are quite vibrant. I mean, the whole world is just so peculiar, just so weird. You're just like, what? That's something I really like about middle grade, actually, because sometimes I feel like you can just have this thing that barely even makes sense or is so weird and everyone just accepts that it's weird and it's completely fine and we don't really need to overtly explain. The writing style I'm really enjoying. It's going by really fast. I mean, I'm 20% in, but I've barely even read anything, which is another thing I love about middle grade. It goes by quick. Not that I don't like it, it's just I enjoy finishing books, so when I can finish a book quickly, especially for a reading vlog. So I finished Malamander and I really enjoyed it. It was such a good read. I found it so whimsical and just really adventurous, and I really like the friendship in it and the characters. There are two main characters and the boy, but he's kind of the narrator. I find him super charming and just so I don't know, very realistic, I guess, very level-headed for a 12-year-old, but still really like up to anything with his friends. And I really like Violet as well. So she's actually a little black girl, and I think that's really cool to have multiracial cast, I guess, even though they're kind of the two main character, but still it was really nice to see. And she was really like so high-spirited and so determined and really lovely. I mean, both of the characters I really like. I am growing really cynical though, because I was reading this and I was reading about Herbie, and he's the lost and founder. He's a lost and founder. He doesn't get paid like a salary. He's just like, if something's left in the hotel, he can take it. And I was like, that sounds like a dodgy business practice. Not only employing 12-year-olds, but then not paying them. And then he's not even going to school. So like, he'll never have a different job than being lost and founder because he has no education. So I was just imagining him at like 50 or 40 and he's still a lost and founder, and he just pays for food with these like pebbles and stuff that people like left or like just junk basically, and everyone's like, you know what, it's cute because you've been living here for so long, but it's cute when you're 12, it's not cute when you're like 50. That sounds depressing, but if you don't think about it too much, I feel like it's a very adorable story, and for now he's 12, so it's adorable. I really like the atmosphere setting. I think the author did a really good job of making it seem like this really small town at the seafront that probably bustling and hustling in the summer, but it's just, you can imagine how deserted and cold it is during winter. And you can also really see how people would kind of adopt Herbie as this little kid that have been living there for years, and everyone kind of takes him under their wing, and I think that's really cute. I think the characters were a very strong point actually, because like I said, we have the two main characters that are kids, but then there's a whole host of characters that are adults living in this town, and all of them were very distinct. All of them were quite a personality actually, but I didn't really get mistaken between any of them. All of them were very distinct. They had their thing, but they weren't like just the thing. They seemed like real characters, kind of like real adults, I guess. The story was really engaging. I had a really good time reading it. I think this is a series because there was definitely a room for a sequel, but overall it was such a good story. I mean, honestly, I love the whimsicality of it, and I feel like I was being a bit harsh on middle grade, because honestly this one I enjoyed so much. I'm really excited for reading the other ones. I feel like what we're gonna learn from this vlog is that I'm a snob and I should read more middle grade and not be like, but I'm an adult. Because yeah, it was such a great time. Honestly, I enjoyed it so much. It just went through by so quickly. I mean, it wasn't a very short book, I guess. I'm not sure how long it was. It just went by so quick because the writing style was so nice and easy to read. I really love the illustrations. So actually the author, he began his career as an illustrator. So he illustrated some of the first editions of Harry Potter and Philosopher's Stone, which is just such a cool, like, thing to have on your resume, and really, like, I don't know, I think it's really cool. But yeah, anyway, so he's an illustrator from that, and he probably illustrated the cover, I assume, because it would make sense. I mean, if you're already a writer and an illustrator, might as well. And then I think he illustrated all the little drawings that are inside the ebook. So each chapter heading would have a drawing, which was just so adorable. And yeah, I think he did a really, really good job. I'd be open to continuing and actually reading up the series, which I didn't think I would be, but it's so nice and whimsical and just like an easy read that is filled with adventure. I really, really liked it, so I would highly recommend it. This is a very winter story as well. It's all set in winter and it's just like snow and stuff. So if you live like near the sea, or you're somewhere near the sea, or you're at winter time, I would highly recommend it. It was adorable, and actually I think I'm gonna count it as my last prompt of the $1,000 readathon, because my last prompt was something with like there has to be a weapon, and there were harpoons, and there was a guy with a hook for a hand. So like not even a hook, like a thing, I don't know, it's like a proper big hook. So that's a lot of pointy things that can hurt people, and there was a lot of shooting, so I'm gonna count it. So actually, if you came here from the $1,000 readathon, I've completed it. So there you go. So that's the flash of lighting prompt done. I think we're gonna move on to the mystery of Black Hollow Lane and get the key finally. And since I'm reading it so quickly, I'm thinking maybe I'll read more than 3 books, but we shall see. But honestly, I enjoyed it so much. I highly recommend it. I'd love to continue the series. Hear you too. I can hear you. Right. So I have started the mystery of Black Hollow Lane. Anyway, so Black Hollow Lane tells a story of a little 12-year-old girl whose mom is like a famous like child psychologist or something, and she decides that she wants to do this like TV show where she goes and like helps families, like telling them what they're doing wrong. And basically that means that she sends her daughter to this English boarding school, and it's all about the mystery in the school. There's a secret society in the school, and there's also like a mystery of her father going missing. I don't know why all the characters are always 12, like very specific age, they're 12. I wouldn't say I'm enjoying it as much as I was enjoying Malamander. That definitely gave me more like atmospheric, spooky vibes. It was really engaging. I wanted to like keep reading it. This one is alright. I'm enjoying it while I'm reading it, but I'm not like dying to pick it up. There's the main character, then she has 2 friends. I like them as a group. I don't particularly love the main character. I don't know, there's just something really pretentious about her. I mean, she's American and she comes to England. Like, I don't know, she's fine, but she's not amazing. And then her friends are really good. I mean, we don't get to know them that well as individuals, I would say, but they're pretty alright as a trio. Yeah, overall, it's like alright. There's not that much I wanted to tell you, but there's a lot of football being played in this, so if you're into that, like girls football, that's really cool. That's something she's really passionate. And like her mom like is the child psychologist, but she's just like such a bad parent. Like it's kind of comical to a point. Seems like in a lot of middle grade, either it's kind of like Disney movies, either the parent's dead or they're just like absent. Alright, so I finished the mystery of Black Hollow Lane, and it was alright. It was alright, but I wasn't in love with it. It didn't really engage me. It didn't really like really want to make me keep going. The final showdown was fine, but it wasn't like that amazing. It just lacked a little bit of that special magic that makes middle grade that I enjoy tick, I think. So for example, I did like Malamander. Of course, it was more of a magical story, and this is more like a real life story, but still I just feel like I had this whimsy and this ridiculousness about it, but I kind of owned how ridiculous it was and just kind of kept at it. And this one seemed way more like grounded in reality, but that kind of made it miss all those things that I really enjoy about middle grade. I really don't like most of the adult characters. The adult characters I didn't particularly like, especially the mom. I don't know, like I just don't understand. In middle grade sometimes I feel like they make the parents that are there just so ridiculously clueless and just bad at parenting, and I'm just like, can you have like one good parent, like one? Yeah, I think I'm gonna give it about 3 stars. I found it underwhelming, kind of boring, fine, but not something that I would really recommend. I found the characters to be so underdeveloped and so just... The main character, I didn't really particularly like her or dislike her. I just felt like so about her. The two best friends, again, nothing particularly special. I mean, they're both so underdeveloped. They're just kind of there to go along with the adventures or whatever. I look like a skull, honestly. I feel like it's very apropos for the scary readathon. But that means we got the key and I can actually properly go into the thing, and I got the lighting clue, so we're good. We got 2 clues, 1 left to go. I feel like this box is not very exciting. Alright, so A Pinch of Magic is set on the Isles of Sorrow, something like that. The main island that it's set on is the Torment. In Torment is just this small village where nothing really happens except for the fact that they have a prison right there full of very dangerous criminals, and life on Torment is maybe not miserable, but quite boring. And this is where our 3 main characters live. So there are 3 sisters, the oldest of them being, let's see, Felicity. The oldest of them being Felicity, who's 16. Then we have Betty, who's 13. And then we have Charlie, who's 6. Betty is a very adventurous type. They all live with their grandma. And Betty's always wanted to explore the world and just see what's out there. And she's very, very adventurous. And she wants to leave the island as soon as possible because she thinks it's just misery. However, what she grows to learn is that she will never be able to leave because all the women in her family are cursed and they're not able to leave the Sorrow Islands or whatever they're called. So the book is about them trying to break this curse. So like I said, there are 3 main characters, but really Betty's the only one that we hear a perspective of. The other characters we just learn about from her experience. They're all raised by their grandma, who's a very like strong-headed, strong lady. She runs a tavern and she really loves the girls, so they feel like they've been very sheltered their whole lives because she never really told them why they couldn't leave. That she just was like, yeah, we'll leave at some point, and then he never did. I am really enjoying the book so far. I think it's quite interesting. However, I feel like the atmosphere setting or scene setting just is really lacking, because I could not for the life of me tell you really anything about the time period. Like, I have absolutely no clue what time period is taking place. It could take place like 200 years ago. It could take place right now. I'm really not sure. I assume because the island's isolated, maybe they wouldn't be using things like phones and stuff. I don't think it's like properly like modern age, but I don't think it's like medieval times either. I'm just very confused. And just like if I had to describe the tavern or the town to you, the descriptions of that is really quite lacking. Can't feel myself so immersed. Like Malamander, I said that it was also like a small town that's really like kind of miserable in the winter, and I really felt that, and that was really amazing. The setting of atmosphere and setting of the scene, so I felt like I was in there. This one, I wouldn't really say it has that. Similarly to the setting, I would say that the characters as well are a little bit lacking. So I feel like I have a good feeling for Betty. Then Charlie is very small. She's basically like a baby. Like, she's 6 years old. What's she gonna do? Like, she doesn't have that much. Well, she does have personality. I can tell that she's really kind and caring. She always adopts all these animals. She eats a lot, which is a weird personality trait, but okay. And then the older sister, really her only thing is that she's a flirt, but then she discards the men. The younger sister's really like, oh, typical Flinty, whatever her name is. She's just had this guy 1 week and then she just abandoned him. I'm like, isn't this a middle grade? Why is she such a... I don't know, why is that the only thing I know about her? I'm sure it's gonna come up, but each of the sisters has like a magical object, and her magical object is a mirror that lets you communicate with people outside of the Isle, and we have not even talked about who she's communicating to, and I feel like that would be such a big like plot point and like tell us so much about her personality. I feel like the plot twist there is gonna be that she found a boy on a different Isle, that's why she's not interested in these boys. I don't know, it's just like maybe have a little bit more personality. I felt like this is a middle grade, not a YA, not everything's about romance, about being always in love, okay? Anyway, that was pissing me off a little. Like, I really hope they develop her character way more, because I feel like when I heard about the story, I thought it'd be about 3 sisters and equally kind of their story being told. But otherwise, I am quite enjoying it. I'm really interested because now we're getting more to the legend stuff. I always love legends within books and within anything, really. I love learning about legends, where everything came from, where the curse came from. So I'm interested in that. So hopefully it'll keep being good. Yeah. Oh, also, it's been so many days. I only have 3 days to finish. I'm on page 100, so I'm pushing through. Excuse the terrible lighting. I don't have anything strong enough to put in front of me. I finished A Pinch of Magic and the middle game Belivathon Readathon. If you can't tell, I have the house to myself for the first time in 55 years, and I finally don't have to whisper. Yeah! So I finished the Pinch of Magic book and I liked it. It was cute. I was actually really surprised by it. It doesn't really feel like middle grade, and I was just talking to my friend actually that middle grade kind of grew up recently. I feel like I didn't know this until this video, but now that I've approached this video, I've learned that the middle game scene, I would say, changed quite a lot. So what I think is of middle grade is none of these books were the middle grade that I think of when I think middle grade. When I was younger, they're definitely tackle very adult topics. I mean, every single one of these books, someone was trying to kill these kids. Not like, oh my god, we're running away from danger, maybe we'll get hit. No, like you're gonna get hit and you're probably gonna die. Like, the death was near certain, you know? So like, it's very extreme. Not that middle grade back in my day didn't used to do that. I mean, Harry Potter, Percy Jackson, well, those are the two I can think of. All of them very deadly scenarios. So I'm not saying that it's completely like a new thing. At the same time, I don't know, I just feel like this middle grade, all of these were quite mature. Well, I should probably save my rant, or not rant, my never-ending stream of consciousness about middle grade for the end of the video and discuss the Pinch of Magic first. I mean, logic, who is she? Let's get back to Pinch of Magic. So like I said, it felt quite adult. It had a lot of plot points and kind of character moments that I wasn't expecting, because I didn't expect the middle grade to take such a turn. So the turns were just kept on coming, and I was thinking about, okay, what do I enjoy in a book? I like being surprised. I like not being able to predict everything. I like the atmosphere, blah blah. And like in this book, really, I couldn't really predict anything. I was like, what the heck? Like, completely, like, even the main plot really ended up being kind of different than what I thought, because I only heard people say what I said in the beginning. That's the basic premise. They're trying to break the curse, but then it goes way deeper. Actually, I feel like my initial complaints about characters as well, yeah, they weren't totally applicable for the whole thing. I definitely think that Filcy, oh my god, what the hell's her name? Oh, the sister definitely did get some growth. I mean, Charlie also, I said that how can she have a character, because she's 6. She has a lot of character, okay? She's probably my favorite character, actually. So Charlie's awesome. Betty, again, she has a lot of personality. They meet another boy called Colton. Colin? Why am I so bad at names? Honestly, I just read this like an hour ago. Colin? I guess. I don't know. He has a really cool personality as well, and the book set it up very nicely for the sequel. I actually know what the sequel is going to be about, but I guess we're following it more for the characters because the main plot did get resolved. I don't know, I just didn't feel that deep love I felt for Malamander. And the funny thing is, I was reading Malamander, I was enjoying it, but then the more I talk about Malamander, the more I'm like, but it's not Malamander. This is cool, but it's not Malamander. I feel like the beautiful cover made my expectations like you can't see it because it's higher than the sky, okay? I don't think it's fair to be like, oh, the book wasn't good. The book was good. I had very high expectations, so the book didn't quite meet them. But it's not the book's fault, it's my fault. Right, and I think I'm gonna give it probably 3.5 stars out of 5 because I really enjoyed it. I'm probably gonna read the sequel. Yeah, probably I will, because it's in script. But that would mark the end of the Belivathon reading vlog. So thank you so much for hanging out with me. Like I said, I do feel like my whole perception of middle grade was just kind of thrown upside down. And I definitely will pick it up more. So I know that Gavin created this readathon to make people pick up more middle grade. I mean, you're probably not watching this, but thank you. I will definitely pick up more middle grade. I enjoyed it so much. Even though not all of them were like total hits, I think that really made me kind of re-examine that middle grades just like can have so many red layers, and it definitely can like build on each other and just be this completely new thing that I didn't think it could be. Thank you, Gavin, for organizing. Thank you, everyone, for participating. I mean, thanks for making it so amazing. There's like so many amazing authors getting involved and everything, so I think it's a really, really cool initiative. I'm definitely participating next year. Tell me, have you participated this year? What did you read? And do you believe in middle grade, or are you old and bitter? Like me, it still melted my frozen heart. Malamander did it. I've been prattling on. I thought this vlog was going to be so short, and it's already over 20 minutes long. So, you know, that's life. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you could like, comment, subscribe, I would really, really appreciate it. But that's it from me, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!